Season 9 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. We are here live from Auto Club Speedway or California Speedway, whichever you want to call it, here in Fontana, California, for what's going to be the final half regular season race before we end up going to All-Star Race Weekend at FTF Super Speedway. So this is the last chance for 3 drivers potentially to be able to get themselves into this year's All-Star Race.
Start your engine!
As there is the command to fire up the engines here for Division 1. There'll be 25 laps of racing in each one of the races here. This is a very, very fast speedway. They can hold them 4 wide at this track, and I'd be very surprised if we don't see them break out into 4 wide very early in this race, especially near the rear of the field, where it doesn't seem like 25 laps is a short race, but it does actually take a little bit of time to get up here to the front, and 25 laps can tick by very quickly with the high speeds that we've seen at this particular kind of track. Johnny Gardner starts on the pole position for this race. Gardner still looking for his first win of the season. Same for Ian Siegel, who lines up to his outside. John Cittadino and his teammate Andreas Allen make up row 2. Cittadino's already been to victory lane this season. However, Cittadino right now, based on where he sits with his win in the points, he's actually outside of the chase, so he really needs to get his finishes more consistent inside the top 10 for the next couple of weeks to get himself back up into possible chase contention, as he's trying to pick up what would be his 3rd championship of his career, the defending Snickers Cup Series champ, and alongside him Andreas Allen, who really has been struggling this season, looking for his first win of the season. And then you got Tanner Sullivan and Zeke Marley, 2 former winners, lining up in 3rd and 4th. Sullivan, a former winner back at Rockingham, UK. Zeke Marley, a former winner back at Bristol. Lining up in row 4, another former winner, I think was from Las Vegas, James McLeod, and alongside him the points leader coming into this race, Ty Dent, who only has a 2-point advantage over Lisa Gonzalez and 4 points over Chris Louvier. Dent and Louvier are in this division race. Let's see what happens with the 999 and the 98. But Johnny Gardner's ready to get us underway. Green flag is out here at Auto Club in Division 1. And there you see already they're starting to fan out there. 3 wide. They were almost 4 wide, but not quite. And they'll go 3 wide for the 2nd position here. Johnny Gardner taking the advantage. John Cittadino going to go on the high side of Tanner Sullivan. And Ian Siegel beginning to free fall his way back through the field. Gets caught on the extreme high side. Not a whole lot of grip up there on that outside line, unless you're Kyle Larson. And already we just saw right there, Chris Louvier just moved by Ty Dent for position that could be for the points lead, as now he's got about 3 cars between himself and Ty Dent. So Louvier trying to cut into the points lead early, as he just crossed the line this time in 5th, started the race in 11th, and they're 4 wide back here. Steven Gonzalez, Ian Siegel, they almost bounced off each other. There was Winston Rivers and Pichu London that were in that 4 wide situation as well. Somehow we're still green. They're all keeping it together, but they're racing like crazy all the way back through this field, as Sullivan has moved into 2nd, Cittadino back to 3rd behind the current leader, Johnny Gardner. Battle may be on for 2nd now, as John Cittadino going to dive to the inside, coming out of 4. Looking for the 2nd position off of Tanner Sullivan. Both these drivers more concentrated on battling for the runner-up spot right now, rather than getting up there and trying to challenge Johnny Gardner for the lead, which I'm sure Gardner has no problems with. Luigi Victorino moving now underneath of Chris Louvier and Joshua Balkowitz. Matthew Dallio going to try and do the same. Certainly looks like the inside line is the line that moves here in today's race here at Auto Club, although we've seen in previous Auto Club races where the middle line and outside line can sometimes get runs off of the corner. And Rivers now going to kick Matthew Dallio up to the high side. 3-way battle now for the 2nd position as Luigi Victorino joins that party. And we may have Chris Louvier up here in just a moment too. Louvier, he's obviously looking for a victory here at Auto Club, but he's also looking to keep that 999 in his rearview mirror. And right now he's succeeding. He does have, according to our live standings, the points lead heading into All-Star Race Weekend, because Ty Dent is still caught up on that high line. He has not been able to make his way down to the inside line, now still stuck in the 3-wide formation with James McLeod and Alan Cavanaro. And once he gets out of that situation, you got Zeke Marley, Joshua Balkowitz, who'll probably split him 3 wide as they're running the inside and middle grooves. So right now, Ty Dent's in a very difficult situation. He's got to find some way down to that inside line to be able to make up ground and work his way back up to the front, particularly back up into the vicinity of Chris Louviere, who right now is the current points leader of the Snickers Cup Series because of where these two are running on track. Wow, almost some contact back there between Ben Braley and Trevor Gelfie, but they keep it together. Harrison Langford, you see now working his way underneath of Ty Dent. Langford last week just worked his way into the top 10 in points. He's now 7th in the standings coming into today's race, and he's looking for his first win since Season 8. He had 2 wins back in Season 8, went winless. I mean 2 wins back in Season 7, I meant. Whoa! Daniel Voiles into Ian Siegel there. Harrison Langford had 2 wins in Season 7, I meant to say. That was his rookie season, and he went winless in Season 8. Let's try and find William Duncan in all of this. Well, he's kind of riding at the back right now. This could be strategy. I mean, he can work his way to the front pretty soon. It wouldn't take him a long time. He'd be able to use the inside line, obviously, to his advantage. But Duncan comes into this race 4th in the points, so a little bit of strategy being played out by the 83 as he just rides around right now near the rear of the field, along with 2 teammates of Luis Hernandez and Corey Williams, as well as Kyle Collins, our winner from a couple of weeks ago at Dover. Or, I'm sorry, not at Dover. It was the race before that. Another driver coming in running well in points. Tim Walsh, 10th in the standings. Haven't seen him. Let's see where he's running. Right now in the 23rd position. Running on the high side and about to actually lose a spot. Looks like to Gene Sanford. Man, they're close up here between Voiles, Langford, Andreas Allen, and Caleb Farrell. Meanwhile, let's move back up to the front, see if anything's developed there in a possible battle for the lead. And, well, we may have a battle for the lead here. John Cittadino, as well as Tanner Sullivan, and Sullivan's teammate Kyle Miller, who's now moved up to 4th. They've now reeled in the U.S. Army Chevrolet, going to try and take the lead. No, it's interesting, too. Sega Motorsports hasn't been to victory lane yet this season. Trent Dunham, Blaine Keys, Isaac Canepa, and Johnny Gardner have not yet gotten to victory lane here in a Snickers Cup Series event in Season 9. And Johnny Gardner going to try and hold off the defending champion here, as now Cittadino's been able to get single file with the young motorsports drivers. And let's see if they're going to be able to get their way by Johnny Gardner here on lap 9. Sullivan now back to the inside, looking for second off of Cittadino. And so that's going to take some pressure off of Gardner again. Kyle Miller right there in the 4th position. And then you can see there's just a huge gap back here to now a double-wide battle for the 5th spot. Zeke Marley has it. Noah Hart wants it. And then back here, Dylan Poteet's been able to work his way up into the top 10. You got Ian Siegel here, Winston Rivers, and there is your current points leader, Chris Louviere in the 98. So drivers are just kind of, they seem to be, if they can get up there towards the front of that pack, of that big group of cars, with the double-wide racing that's going on all the way back from about maybe the 7th position on, they have a chance of being able to break away. And that's what we've seen, the gap here of these top 4 is now John Cittadino's been able to forge a hold to the inside. It's Cittadino and Motorsports versus Sega Chevrolet. And, oh boy. Oh, Sullivan got a nice run there into 3. But Johnny Gardner's holding his own right now on that outside line. He's not letting Cittadino be able to get that advantage of sliding him off the corner. And it looks like Gardner will lead yet another lap. I believe Gardner has led every lap so far. And if he can lead a couple more, he'll have an extra bonus point for leading the most laps. But he's just lost the lead now as John Cittadino finally able to ring up that inside line, and he will go to the point. Tanner Sullivan's now going to follow him in the 2nd position. And, you know, I was talking about John Cittadino. He's got to get his finishes better in order to get himself up there as far as the one-time winners, but I didn't even think about the possibility. If John Cittadino picks up a 2nd win here, he would join the likes of Tristan Wilhoit, Danny Wells, and Robert Piet, who are right now almost kind of guaranteed a spot in the chase for the championship, being 2-time winners. Johnny Gardner, he's not done. Here comes Gardner back to the bottom of the racetrack to try and make the move on John Cittadino. Cittadino a little bit better there out of 2 using the middle groove, so we're seeing that middle line be able to actually get a little bit of grip now and a little bit of momentum off the corners like I expected. Gardner going to just bide his time now, wait for his moment. Now he's going to take and peek about a half groove lower again on Cittadino, and I think we may have pit stops going on. We do! Johnny Gardner going to give up the 2nd position to come to pit road here on lap 12. Luigi Victorino is also in. So 2 drivers going to give up track position in order to pit early here on lap 13 of 25. Right around the halfway point, which means that they should probably be good to go on fuel now after this pit stop. When do we see the leader, John Cittadino, hit the pit lane? Looking to see if there's a hand signal of him letting the field know, hey, I'm coming to pit road. And I think we do have a signal. Yes, he is coming in. Ian Siegel now in. Winston Rivers. Here comes Andreas Allen, Noah Hart, Brendan Berg, Zeke Marley, Chris Louvier. Last week's winner, Michael Norman, is in. Ben Braley, McCrory, Alton, Sanford, Cavanaro, McLeod, Poteet, Brandon Gonzalez. I see Harrison Langford, Ty Dent, Pichu Lunnan, Daniel Voiles, Austin Weiner, Jack Kearney, Corey Williams, Zachary Fitzwater, Matthew Dallio, Daniel Day, Austin Talley, Duncan, Washer, Walsh, Farrell, Williams, and Charles Jackson. Is now the battle's on between the two teammates out of Young Motorsports, Kyle Miller and Tanner Sullivan, who now I believe they are coming in to make their pit stops here on lap 14 going on to lap 15. And those two were the only two that stayed out an extra lap, so this is going to be the final two drivers to make pit stops to cycle around the cycle of green flag pit stops here midway through Division 1 race here at Auto Club. It could come down to who has the best pit stop. Kyle Miller pulls in, going to be right sides for the 21. We'll see if they go around on the left side or if it's going to be 2 tires and fuel. They are going to do 4 tire stop. Tanner Sullivan just now getting his right sides completed. Now they'll work around here to the left side on his DeWalt Tools Ford. Now he was running ahead of behind Kyle Miller when they came into pit road, and he will be behind Kyle Miller when they come off pit road. Actually, they're almost dead even coming off the pit lane. They are side by side. Miller, though, going to go to the point now. And now we got to look for Johnny Gardner, John Cittadino. Where are those drivers going to come out in relation to these two? Winston Rivers has already gone by. Is Rivers the leader? I think Winston Rivers may be the leader. Now we got to wait, of course, for official scoring confirmation, but I think Winston Rivers got out ahead. And if that's the case, Winston Rivers must have utilized some good pit strategy there. And indeed, the ticker says he's the leader. Brendan Berg is now scored in 2nd place. 3rd place is Ian Siegel. 4th place now under contest. Andreas Allen has it. Noah Hart wants it. So Noah Hart right now scored in 5th. 6th place is Ben Braley. 7th now Kyle Miller. 8th place Gene Sanford. 9th Luigi Victorino. And the battle's on for 10th. Dylan Poteet has it. But you got Michael Norman, Johnny Gardner, John Cittadino, and Zeke Marley, as well as Tanner Sullivan up here trying to take that spot. So now comes the question, are these drivers good to go on fuel? Did they get all that fuel in with the way they were able to gain so much track position? Battle on for the lead. Brendan Berg looking to the inside. Berg trying to pick up the first win of the season for Retro Racing Enterprises. Neither himself nor Joshua Collard, who was a 2-time winner last season, nor Jessica Shelton, who was a winner last season, nor Nick Smith. They've not yet gone to victory lane this season, neither the 11 of Gene Sanford. Wow, Hart racing back there for 2nd. Noah Hart thought about going 3 wide with Winston Rivers and Ian Siegel. And right now, none of these drivers up here in the top 5 have been to victory lane yet this season. As a matter of fact, Berg, Siegel, Rivers, and Andreas Allen have not been to victory lane in a Snickers Cup Series event yet. Noah Hart has. He went to victory lane. His most recent one was in, I believe it was season 7. Trying to remember where his win came at, but I don't recall. As the battle is on now for 2nd, Noah Hart now trying to take that spot from Ian Siegel and trying to run down Brendan Berg. Meanwhile, we may have another player up here in this top 5 battle, Ben Braley. And the 59 has now caught the draft of this group, and he's now up here. He'll take 5th place right at the line, I believe, from Ian Siegel. So now the question is, can this group catch up? Gene Sanford is now falling back into the clutches of Michael Norman. And whoa, 4 wide! Johnny Gardner, Tanner Sullivan made contact up into Kyle Miller. They almost wrecked. They almost wrecked each other. But now the question is, can this second group be able to catch up and run down this first group? Let's look at the ticker here. leader of that first group last time was Jean Sanford. She was a little over 3 seconds back. Let's see now what the gap is. Is Noah Hart your new leader? Did the gap close or open up? 2.97. John Cittadino leading that second group. They've closed it up. However, we're on lap 20 of 25. Next time by, it's 5 laps to go. If that second group's going to be able to catch them, they got to make hay quickly. And Noah Hart right now leading this group. Noah Hart trying to pick up his first win since Season 7. And a single-car race team for Fuel Brothers trying to put the Pie-Mobile, the 3.14, in victory lane. 5 laps to go as they hit the stripe. Let's see if that second group has closed up any distance this time. They closed it up by 2/10. They're going to have to work a lot faster than that if they're going to catch up. And the big problem for them is these guys now are practically single file. They need them to run double wide in order for them to close up any ground. John Cittadino, Michael Norman working together to try and close up some distance. They got Luigi Victorino, Zeke Marley, Kyle Miller back here trying to do their best to try and get up there and make it a 5-car draft. But as these guys continue to race amongst themselves, basically single file right at the moment, that helps them to keep that distance almost status quo. 4 to go as Noah Hart hits the line. This time at the stripe, cut down by 0.3 of a second. But they're running out of time. They are gaining, but they are running out of time. As now it's double wide between Brendan Berg and Andreas Allen. And Winston Rivers and Ben Braley have kind of lost those guys. That may help. That just might help that second group. Ian Siegel, if he goes 3 wide, that's definitely going to help that second group to catch up, but not going to be able to do it here as Brendan Berg hangs on to the second position. Berg trying all he can to try and catch up to Noah Hart, but he's not really been able to close up any distance between himself and the 3.14. At the line, Noah Hart leads yet another lap. Now we have 3 to go here at Auto Club. And this time, Michael Norman, 2.28. John Cittadino, 1.98 off of that first group. Still, though, time ticking away. They really needed to basically close it up by half a second every lap to be up here in a possible position to not only cut their way through 6th on back through 2nd, but then to be able to challenge Noah Hart for the lead. Now, look at this. They've kind of single-filed up here with Brendan Berg, Ian Siegel, and Andreas Allen. That could help Brendan Berg be able to draft up to the back bumper of the 3.14 as it's 2 to go here at Auto Club. Berg going to look low. Here he comes. Noah Hart going to try and throw the block. Oh, Brendan Berg's got help, but he's not able to make the move there in turns 1 and 2. Wasn't quite strong enough. And they may go 3 wide here. No, not going to go 3 wide for that second position. Instead, it's going to be Andreas Allen trying to go underneath Ian Siegel. Not going to work. And now Andreas Allen's going to have Winston Rivers looking for 3rd place off of him, or make that 4th. As here we go, white flag displayed one more time around. Brendan Berg's got only one more shot. He's got to make it happen now, but I think he may have a challenge from Ian Siegel for 2nd place. That may help Noah Hart to his first Snickers Cup Series victory since Season 7. The white flag was displayed, and John Cittadino closed it up to 0.8. He's in this lead pack as Cittadino. He's in the lead pack. He's now up to 4th place. But time has run out. Crossover move by Brendan Berg on Ian Siegel for 2nd. Noah Hart, though, by about maybe 4 car lengths, is going to hold off everybody, and Noah Hart's going to go to victory lane for the first time since Season 7. Noah Hart comes to the line, and he will pick up what I think is his 3rd checkered flag in his career in Snickers Cup. He wins Division 1 here at Auto Club. Brendan Berg just barely beats out John Cittadino for 2nd, Cittadino 3rd, Braley 4th, and 5th place to Ian Siegel. But man, Cittadino, give him a couple laps, he might have had something for Noah Hart. And we went caution-free in this race, amazingly enough. Race, I believe, is official. It is indeed. Noah Hart with his first win here of Season 9, his 3rd win of his career. I believe his first win came for Kyotech Racing back in Season 6 at, that was Darlington. 2nd win ended up coming in Season 8, also in a Kyotech Racing Audi. And now his 3rd one comes here today in a Fuel Brothers Toyota in the Pie-Mobile, the 3.14. Actually, some history made. First time we've ever had a number with a decimal point in it. Go to victory lane in Snickers Cup Series event. Brendan Berg, solid outing for that rookie utilized some pit strategy, and it got him up there with good track position. He'll finish second. John Citadino charged his way up there in the late stages. He might have had something to say about this win if he'd had about 2 more laps, but he'll have to settle for third. Fourth for Ben Braley, great run for him, and same for Ian Siegel. Those two also utilized pit strategy to get them where they were at the end of this race. Winston Rivers, a great run for him in 6th. Andreas Allen in 7th. Michael Norman, nice follow-up run after his win last week to finish in 8th. Johnny Gardner is going to get 9th, the pole sitter, and Kyle Miller, who had a great save there after contact between himself and Johnny Gardner in a 4-wide situation. He'll get the top 10 position, and I think the streak continues for a young motorsports driver finishing in the top 10 week after week now. Kyle Miller going to continue that on. As you look further down, Zeke Marley finishes in 11th. Tanner Sullivan was up there at the front early on. He'll finish in 12th. Jean Sanford, great run for her in 13th. 14th for Dylan Poteet. He definitely has needed a good run. Luigi Victorino going to finish out the day in the 15th position. Chris Louvier finishes in 21st. Where did Ty Dent finish? He didn't even finish in the top 28. Ty Dent finished all the way back in the 34th position, along with another driver who came running well in points, Harrison Langford, finishing in 35th place. And William Duncan, where did he finish? He finished 25th. So right now, Chris Louvier, according to what I've got, he has the points lead heading into next week. However, Lisa Gonzalez is going to be rolling off in Division 2. So what she's got to do is she has to finish higher than the 23rd position to be the points leader heading into next week. So let's find out if she's going to be able to do that. Take a look here at your finishing results here from Division 1. Noah Hart goes to victory lane for the 3rd time in his Snickers Cup Series career. Let's head over now for Division 2 racing here from Auto Club. Here's your starting lineup. So here we go, getting ready for Division 2. As you saw in your starting lineup, Lisa Gonzalez going to have a bit of luck on her side. She rolls off from the 2nd position. Let's get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And so Lisa Gonzalez definitely in the running to possibly leave with the points lead here. She has to, as we said, finish higher than the 23rd position as Theo Stegall picks up his first pole of the season for Rogers Motorsports. Team that's actually been putting together some really good runs in the last couple of weeks. We've seen Tristan Wilhoit, of course, go to victory lane twice this season. Zach Rogers had a good run, I believe it was back at Infineon, and they've been doing pretty well as that Dodge team, but only one driver from their team's gone to victory lane, as I said, Tristan Wilhoit. So we'll see if Theo Stegall can become the 2nd Rogers Motorsports Dodge to reach victory lane. Lisa Gonzalez, as I said, marching right alongside of him on the outside of that front row, has to finish 23rd or better to lead with the points lead heading into the second half of the regular season. Momo Akari lines up in 3rd. 4th place going to be Matt McIntyre, a winner from Dega. Jeffrey Finguy, who's been on a roll as of late, picked up a win a couple of weeks ago and has been on a streak of top 10 finishes. Comes into this race 17th in the point standings now, and alongside of him is going to be Jake Haynes in the 97. Carter Fargo comes in 5th in the points, and he'll roll off from the 7th position. A couple other drivers we'll keep an eye on during the course of this race that are in this division. Eric Burton in the 95, and also we'll be keeping a pretty close watch, I believe, as well on Dougie Shears and Joshua Michaels, 2 drivers that are just outside the top 10, trying to work their way into the top 10. Shears 13th in points, Joshua Michaels 15th in the standings. Here we go, getting ready to go green for 25 laps of racing. They went clean and green with green flag pit stops in the middle in Division 1. What happens here in Division 2? Look at them all fan out on the restart here. On the very start, number of drivers jumping here and there and everywhere, and they're going to be 4 wide heading into turn number 1 with Fargo, Krostowski, Finguy, Matt McIntyre, Jake Haynes bouncing off each other are Fargo and Sanford. Lisa Gonzalez did not get a good jump either. That might have been why they fanned out. The 08 may have spun the tires on the start of this race. Jeffrey Finguy going to cross lanes now. Oh man, this makes me nervous. Oh, Henry Cavanaugh almost turned Joshua Michaels there, right up on the Doctor Who BMW's left rear. Look at them all fanning out here. 3 wide, about 2-3 rows deep, and now Nilo Bolvin's going to make it 4 wide again. 5 wide, heading into turn 1, and Fargo gets turned off the nose of Sanford. Carter Fargo in the 19 just got turned off the nose of Charles Sanford. He's going to continue, it looks like, but I believe that's going to be a yellow flag. It is indeed. Pace car comes out, our first caution of the day. We went green flag to green flag in the Division 1 race, but 5 wide, that's a bit of a question mark here at this track, and we just saw the end result. Amazingly, though, it was only a 1-car incident, and Theo Stegall is going to lead us under the first yellow here at Auto Club. How was it just 1 car? I don't know. And Carter Fargo looks like he's still going to be able to continue, but man, did he get the short end of the stick there. Caught on the outside line, 5 wide. Sanford was in that formation, Robert Piet as well. I don't know who else exactly was in that. There you see the skid marks from the Buick Regal. 5th in the point stands coming into this race. Fargo's going to see if he's going to be able to continue, but a tough break for him there early on in this race. Theo Stegall leads the way over Joshua Michaels and Zach Krostowski. We're going to quickly just stay here with these guys. Yep, that's why, because I was wondering if anyone was going to try coming to pit road early on here there in this race. Now, I don't know if they can make it the entire way with pitting here this early, but they may try. And Stegall is going to come down to pit road. It looked like Michaels was indicating he might stay out, and he is indeed going to do so. A couple other drivers are staying out too. I think one of them could have possibly been the 03 of Sanford. So I believe the 04 and the 03 have decided to stay out, and that could come back to bite them. However, when you think about it too, the fuel window in Division 1 was somewhere around 13 to 15 laps. And we are still not in that window. So these guys that are pitting, they may have to come to pit road one more time. It's just a gas and go for Theo Stegall. Did not take any tires. Krostowski off pit road as well, along with Kavanaugh, Finguy, and Daly. And of the drivers that stayed out, we have a new top 5. Here you can see the drivers that all stayed out. Michaels is going to be the leader. Clint Spillman 2nd, Piet 3rd, Lawler 4th, and Lisa Gonzalez is going to roll the dice. She'll be in the 5th position when we go back to green. So, Joshua Michaels, the leader under caution. We'll update everything on the running order when we come back. Let's take a look at a replay of our first caution of the day here involving a 5-wide situation and the spin of Carter Fargo. Well, the other drivers that were in this 5-wide formation were Clint Spillman and Nilo Bolvin, the 12 and the 18. And you can just see here, I think the contact's going to come between the 12, 18, and 03. That kind of forces Sanford up. And Carter Fargo also came down a little bit, too. I think he thought maybe the 14 was going to bail out of the throttle in front of him. And there you see he gets hooked off the nose of Charles Sanford. There was really nobody's fault on that whole incident. It was just a victim of circumstances for Fargo. But the report is that they have brought him to pit road. They have repaired the damage as best they can. And he is back on track. So we'll see if Carter Fargo may be up to speed here. As he's going to be able to continue. All 42 cars, from what I'm seeing, are still going to be running by the time we get back for the restart. And we've gotten the signal of 1 to go. Lights are out atop the pace car. Joshua Michaels rolling the dice, deciding to stay out to gain track position, so he'll restart as the leader. Clint Spillman lines up in 2nd. 3rd will be Robert Piet. Lawler in 4th. Lisa Gonzalez is now 5th. Zach Rogers runs 6th. Nick Pericles is in 7th. 8th place is Nathan Orman. Jake Haynes runs 9th. And Webster Zygarde now completes top 10. Bob Jones is 11th. Isaac Canepa 12th. 13th, Jessica Villanueva. 14th, Mason Powers. Bella Davis is 15th. 16th is Liam Irvig. 17th, Kyle Corbett. And the last car to stay out was Ian Dutta. First car to pit. Rolls off from 19th on the restart. That's the pole sitter Theo Stegall. Krostowski is 20th. 21st, Jeffrey Finguy. 22nd, Henry Kavanaugh. 23rd, Cole Dowley. 24th, Matt McIntyre. 25th, Christopher Pierce. Then it's Eric Powers in 26th. 27th, Lyndon Wright. 28th, PJ Williams. Dougie Shears is 29th. And completing the top 30 is Benjamin Miles. As you can see, Carter Fargo, he is 42nd, but he is still on track. We'll see if he's still up to speed. And also, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly Theo Stegall is able to work his way back up to the front, because none of the drivers that came to pit road took any Goodyear Eagles. So they all went with fuel only. So all these drivers, as far as tire rubber wear, they're all on the same page. So it's not going to allow Theo Stegall or the guys behind him extra grip to be able to move their way through these drivers who didn't pit. All they did was a splash and go, and that was it. Green flag back out here on lap 7 of 25. Clint Spillman thought about making the move on Joshua Michaels, but if he had made it before the start-finish line, he'd have been penalized. Now he goes low, but Robert Piet going to go even lower. Two-time winner this season, Robert Piet, looking for his 3rd win of the season, which, in all honesty, would practically guarantee him a spot in this season's chase for the championship. Right now, he's almost got a guarantee, being a 2-time winner along with Danny Wells and Tristan Wilhoit, but pick up a 3rd win, and oh boy, I don't think there's any way you're going to end up missing out on this season's chase. As Jacob Lawler, former champion, back from Season 8, he's now, or make that Season 7 rather, he's now battling for 2nd underneath of Clint Spillman. Lawler's actually 18th in points. He's been having a pretty strong season for Hendrick Dowling Motorsports, and they're 3 wide behind him. Webster Zygarde got a little loose there. There you have potential points leader Lisa Gonzalez. She has to finish 23rd or better in this race. Right now running in the top 5. 2 McDonald's cars of Jake Haynes and Nathan Ormond side by side. There's Mason Powers in this mix, along with Nick Pericles, fellow Dodge Zach Rogers, and Jessica Villanueva, who's also looking for her 2nd win of the season. Jacob Lawler going to clear Clint Spillman. He'll move into 2nd now, tries to begin to run down Robert Piet. Lisa Gonzalez right behind him, now about to get the challenge for the 3rd position from Webster Zygarde. And Lawler going to get caught on the high side there, and he may end up losing 2nd, as that 38's pretty strong there through turns 1 and 2 on that inside line. Can Lawler tuck down just in front of the Sims 4 Ford? He might be able to. I think he might. I think the battle right now is basically for the 3rd place between Lisa Gonzalez and Jacob Lawler, but maybe not. Webster Zygarde tries to get another good run here off of 4, and I believe he is to the inside of the left rear of the Great Clips Chevrolet Camaro. Ooh, Clint Spillman thought about going underneath of Lisa Gonzalez, but Nathan Ormond was there, and we almost had a 4-wide situation heading into 1. There's Kyle Corbett. Great run right now for the 56. Out of Gibbs, Waltrip Mayonnaise Racing, having a nice run, and now he's going to go 3 wide, following Jessica Villanueva underneath of Nathan Ormond. Joshua Michaels, who was the leader on this restart, has gotten shuffled all the way back, I think now to the 12th position. Now on the inside line, trying to work his way back up to the front once again. They're going to go 4 wide into 1, maybe 5 wide as Clint Spillman drives up to the high line, but now they're going to settle it out. Looks like it'll be 3 wide, maybe about a couple rows deep. Oh, maybe 4 wide back here, though. Lisa Gonzalez, so contact with her in the 79. They are literally leaning on each other right now off of turn 2. Good grief. The 08 literally helped the 79 make that turn, because the 79 used the 08 of Lisa Gonzalez as a buffer around that entire corner. It's a wonder they did not wreck. Back up to the front here, we may have a potential battle for the lead if someone can break free from this lead pack. Webster Zygarde may be that driver, as they may go 3 wide for 2nd, but Kyle Corbett now going to try to get the inside of Webster Zygarde, and this is great news for the 195 of Robert Piet, because as these drivers continue to battle for 2nd, nobody's able to then turn their mental focus to running down his Gulf Ford. Here's the big thing we got to remember, though. Theo Stegall, 19th on the restart on back. They came to pit road under what's been our only caution. At some point here, these drivers are going to have to come to pit road that were 1st through 18th on the restart. And Robert Piet is one of those 18 drivers. Now, they may have been able to save some fuel under that caution flag, but they're going to have to come in somewhere in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 laps. Jake Haynes has now been able to clear everyone in that lead pack. He may be the guy to try and start running down Robert Piet for the lead. Corbett is now broken free as well. So the top 3 single file now make it the top 5 single file, as Christopher Pierce going to tuck in line in front of Nathan Ormond. Where is right now the 42 of Theo Stegall? There he is, working his way up the inside line in the 19th position. Right now, things are going to go his way as soon as these other drivers are going to have to hit pit road that stayed out under our only caution so far. And the battle's on for the lead. Jake Haynes got to the inside of Robert Piet, not able to make a move this time, though. Top 4 remain single file: Piet, Haynes, Corbett, and Christopher Pierce. All of whom, though, I am pretty certain may have to come to pit road. Speaking of pit road, I think Robert Piet and Jake Haynes have just indicated they are coming in. So they give up track position. Finn Guy's in, as well as Jacob Lawler. Their Camaros hitting the pit lane as well. And the battle is on, I believe, for the lead. I believe Christopher Pierce was to the inside of Nathan Ormond and Kyle Corbett now. They're 3 wide. Ooh, that was close off that corner. Ormond got tight, almost came up into Christopher Pierce, and here comes Eric Burton in the 95. Eric Burton, 6th in the standings. He wants a win as they are going to congest right here. Look out. Here comes Villanueva in. Bob Jones is coming in. I believe Ormond just hit the pit lane. Liam Irvig's in, Michaels, Webster Zygarde, and Zach Rogers. So now here's the big question. Here's the really big question. We're on lap 15, now 16 of 25. These leaders came in, I think it was on lap 4 to make their pit stop. Does that mean that they're only 4 more laps to the good than everybody else? Or can they make it the rest of the way? When they hit the stripe, it's 9 to go. Can Eric Burton make it the rest of the way on fuel? There's your answer. He just coming to pit road. Christopher Pierce is in, and so too is Kyle Corbett. Lead cycles over to the guy who was out front to start this race and came to pit road under that caution. Theo Stegall is now the leader. Cole Daly now to second. Oh wow, 3 wide. Oh, trouble! Ormond! Right up into traffic! Is everybody going to avoid him? They are. Everyone avoids him, and that might be a caution flag. If that is, that's going to really hurt all these drivers who just came to pit lane. Where's the pace car? Is he coming out onto the track? He is. Oh my goodness, this changes a lot now for the outcome of this race. As now the leader is Cole Daly. Danny Wells going to cross the line in 2nd. Williams 3rd, Segal in 4th, and Kyle Matthews is now in 5th. But drivers may end up finding themselves caught a lap down now because of this yellow. Oh my goodness, that was not a yellow flag that a lot of drivers needed to see. And this is really going to mess this field up when we go back green with a handful of laps remaining. Cole Daly, though, is the leader. Danny Wells, 2-time winner this season, in 2nd. Williams in 3rd. Stegall, the pole sitter, in 4th. And 5th place right now is Kyle Matthews in the 24. Let's see if Daly, Danny Wells, and these guys, yep, they're coming to pit road this time. So I don't know what the field's going to look like when we get ready to go back green, but we're going to take a look quickly and see what happened. It was contact between, I think it was Clint Spillman and Nathan Ormond when they came on the access road, leaving pit road after their cycle of green flag pit stops, but the leaders are in. Daly, Wells, Williams, Stegall, Matthews, they're in pit road. Let's see now what put us under the caution and may have completely jumbled up this field for what's going to be possibly about a 5, maybe 4 lap shootout to finish this race. And here it was, 3 wide off pit road. Clint Spillman, Nathan Ormond, and Jessica Villanueva, 3 drivers who we've seen up at the front for a good portion of this race. It looked like Clint Spillman got out of the gas, and Nathan Ormond didn't realize he was going to be laying off the throttle, and it's a wonder all these drivers got through. Close call there for Momo Akari, Lyndon Wright, Dylan Young. How they all got around him, I don't know. And we almost had a huge pile up here at Auto Club because, man, the speeds they go around this track, there's very little time to be able to maneuver your way around a driver, and the fact that he came back up into traffic, that was a close call. It's a wonder we didn't have more drivers involved there. We've dodged some bullets here today at Auto Club. Single car incident after a 5-wide situation, and then a driver spins onto the racetrack after making a pit stop, and he's the only one that is spun around or has any contact with anybody. Man, close calls here at Auto Club, but we're under the yellow. Let's go back to green and see what we're left with to finish out this race. Okay, now I can't even go back and look at the replays to try and find out how everyone cycles into where they are, but this is the way it is. We haven't gotten the one to go signal yet. I wanted to take the opportunity to be able to go through this and find out who's running where. Jonathan Zorling is your race leader right now in the 78. Then you got lap cars. between himself before you get all the way back, all the way through this field, and you get then to the second place driver, which is going to be, I believe, yes, Christopher Pierce in the 07. Eric Burton is in third. Danny Wells, who beat Cole Daly off pit road, is fourth. Daly is going to be fifth. Sixth place is Lyndon Wright. Seventh is PJ Williams. Theo Stegall in eighth. Ninth place Kyle Matthews. And Dylan Young is the top 10. Then 11th is Krostowski. Sanford is in 12th. Canepa is 13th. And 14th is Momo Akari. There are only 14 cars on the lead lap. And oh, Lisa Gonzalez just came off pit road. She's scored right now. I think they had her scored in the 42nd position. That's dead last, which means that if she's not able to recover to a finish better than 23rd, Chris Louvier takes over the points lead. As we take a look here, I'll show you with the ticker here. All right, so drivers that are on the tail end of the lead lap now. 15th, Matt McIntyre. Dougie Shears, 16th. Nilo Balvin in 17th. 18th, Brad Mojo. 19th, Benjamin Miles. 28th, Kyle Corbett. Mason Powers in 21st. And Eric Powers in 22nd. From Brandon Kraus to 23rd on back, they are one lap down to the leaders. Lisa Gonzalez is a lap down in the 08. So she must have gotten caught on pit road or something. There you see Joshua Michaels, who was up at the front. He's a lap down now. Yeah, last week's winner, James Shelley, is a lap down. Bob Jones, Robert Piet is a lap down. Jacob Lawler, Jake Haynes, a lot of drivers that we've mentioned up at the front. Jeffrey Finguy is a lap down. So, the driver that Jonathan Zorline has to watch out for is Christopher Pierce. He has a number of drivers between himself and that 07. However, you know, with all this traffic up here, drivers trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap and whatnot, and be battling for position ahead of Jonathan Zorline. Zorline's going to be in a hornet's nest. Let's see how many drivers Christopher Pierce has to race his way past to get up to Zorline. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Practically 20 cars that he's going to have to get by in order to get up to Zorline. Zorline may have this race in the bag. However, who knows? This is Auto Club. It's so unpredictable. We should have had two pretty big wrecks so far in this Division 2 race. And what happened? Only one driver in each incident involved. So hang on tight, folks. It's going to be a wild one, as we're getting ready to go back to green with a total of 4 laps remaining. Jonathan Zorling going to try and hold him off here, as he's going to work his way through lap traffic and drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. Green flag is back out here. Now, the thing Zorling's got to make sure he doesn't do is let anyone to his inside. If that happens, he's going to start free-falling. That might allow Christopher Pierce, Eric Burton on back to be able to try and close in and try and take the lead away from him. And here they come down to his inside. Zorling left it open, and oh my goodness, here we go. Wait, is he out of fuel? Zorling's out of fuel! Oh, right in front of the field! Oh, look out, look out! Oh, this is tight. Oh, they gotta let him down. They gotta let him to the apron. He's out of fuel. They're stacking up behind him. They're gonna get by. Who's the leader? I saw Burton there. Did Burton get by for the lead? I think he may be the leader. Danny Wells right beside him, though. Danny Wells is right there. Zorling tried to stretch it, not going to be able to do it. Is Burton the leader? He is. Danny Wells right there in second. Theo Stegall now in third. 4 wide as Eric Burton tries to cut his way through traffic contact between Bob Jones and Ian Dutta. But I think they saved it. They did. This is the battle for the lead. Oh, Danny Wells going to get caught in the middle 3 wide. That's not where he wants to be. But I don't think Kavanaugh was able to make a move on him. Eric Burton trying to hold off Danny Wells. Here comes Danny to the inside, looking for his 3rd win of the season. Theo Stegall now up here, as well as the Charles Sanford machine and Kyle Matthews. This race ain't over yet. 2 laps to go here at Auto Club. Danny Wells is the leader. Now they're 3 wide for second. Kyle Matthews looking underneath. Here comes Sanford up here on that inside line. He's looking to try and get himself into this. He's right now scored in 5th. All going on behind Danny Wells, though, who has the lead. Now going to try and put Nathan Ormond a lap down. Or actually, it would be another lap down. Coming around this time, white flag displayed Can Kyle Matthews and Charles Sanford work together to catch up to the Rockstar Energy Chevrolet? They're not too far away. They're within striking distance. White flag displayed. What a crazy race this Division 2 race has been. Kyle Matthews going to the inside of Nathan Orman. Now he's got to run down Danny Wells here. He's got Sanford helping him. They're closing the gap. Sanford now looks to the inside on Kyle Matthews. He's got Nick Pericles helping push him down the back straightaway. Danny Wells hoping he'll not have a challenge here in 3 and 4. Here they come into 3. Charles Sanford going to go underneath of Kyle Matthews for the lead, or not for the lead, for a second. Going to try and get the run on Danny Wells out of 4. Not going to be able to do it. Danny Wells is going to become the first 3-time winner this season, winning here today at Auto Club. Sanford gets second. Third place, Theo Stegall. I think Matthews got 4th, and who knows who got 5th. Might have been Dylan Young. No, he got 6th. Who got the 5th position? Was it Ian Dutta, maybe? No, it wasn't Dutta. Eric Burton just hung on for 5th. 6th place was Dylan Young, and I think Momo Akari ended up grabbing the 7th position. What a crazy race. That was insane. So much strategy playing out, and Danny Wells, I think, folks, right there, you're looking at the first confirmed driver in this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. 3 wins this season for Tweenix Racing's Danny Wells. Last year he had 2. This year he's got 3, and I believe it's the first season he's ever had 3 wins in a single Snickers Cup Series season. Standings should be official. Talk about some comebacks for some drivers here in the top 10. Man. Danny Wells with the win. I'm just curious to know, where did Danny start this race? He started this race from dead last. I was wondering if he did. He went from last to the win here at Auto Club. How about that? Charles Sanford, his best finish of the season. A 2nd place here today. Almost might have been able to challenge Danny Wells, but not quite. Theo Stegall, the pole sitter, hangs on to finish top 5 and 3rd. Kyle Matthews, great run for him in 4th, and Eric Burton will finish out in 5th. He'll stay in the top 10 in points. Dylan Young, I think it might be Dylan Young's best finish of the season, too. A 6th place run today. Momo Akari, great run for that rookie out of JE Entertainment Racing, as he'll finish in 7th. 8th for Zach Krostowski. Isaac Canepa, nice run in 9th, and Cole Daly is going to complete out the top 10 in today's race. We documented the troubles for Lisa Gonzalez, finishing out today's race officially in the 35th position, which means Chris Louvier for Team Thunder is your new points leader heading into the second half of the regular season. And that is going to be quite a coup for that Dodge team. Tough break there for Jonathan Zorline having to pit. I think Lyndon Wright also had to pit late as well. So those two, tough break for them as they did not have enough fuel to get them to the end of this race. And you can just see a lot of heartbreakers there as well. Nathan Ormond, Bob Jones, Clint Spillman, Lisa Gonzalez, Joshua Michaels, who was leading at one point. Number of drivers that were up near the front finishing a lap down due to that untimely caution that came out during the cycle of green flag pit stops. But Danny Wells is the 3-time winner this season, winning his 3rd race of the season here today at Auto Club Speedway, and I'm pretty certain clinching himself a spot in this season's chase for the championship. Let's now head over to Division 3. What's up in that race? Who knows? We went green flag racing all the way to the end in Division 1. 2 cautions, which really jumbled up the field here in Division 2. What's Division 3 got in store for us? Let's find out now. It's your starting lineup for the Division 3 race here to finish out today's race weekend at Auto Club. And as you saw in your starting lineup, Chris Kyle, our winner from Talladega Superspeedway, starts on the pole. Look for his 2nd win. Let's go down, get the command to fire up the engines in Division 3.
Drivers, start your engines!
So Chris Kyle looking for the 2nd win of the season, which would be the 3rd win for Young Motorsports. Alongside of him, Henry Nova, still looking for his 1st win of the season. James Silverfox, who had a great run last week, trying to look for another good run this week to move into the top 10 in points. He's now 14th in the stands after his good run last week. And alongside of him, Connor Breton, our winner from Rockingham, UK, looking for win number 2 here this season. Cody Lamas, who had that heartbreak last week, dropped him all the way down to the 21st place in points. Looking to see if he can rebound here this week as he'll roll off from 5th. And Dylan Casella, another driver just outside the top 10 in points. He's 16th in the standings, rolling off from the 6th position. Zach Buchanan just worked his way into the top 10 last week. James Qualls up to 12th in points. So there's a number of drivers who had some good runs last week. Chris Kyle actually moved his way up to 19th in points last week. And Joshua Collard is now 20th in the standings coming into this race. Trent Dunham moved up to 24th in the points. So a number of drivers will have to watch here to see what they're going to be able to do. And I'm certain they were watching with bated breath all the events that went on, not only in Division 1, but especially in Division 2. How's that going to play out into when these drivers decide to come down and pit if we have a caution, or if this thing goes clean and green all the way to the end? We've seen both sides of that coin here today, Division 1 and Division 2. What side will that Division 3 race fit in? We'll find out now as we're getting ready to go green here for 25 laps of racing here at Auto Club in Division 3. Green flag is out. Nova jumped up, Breton jumped up, Casella jumped up. They all tried to be able to get runs on that restart. Nobody really got any advantages. Chris Kyle goes to the point. Second place now going to be Silver Fox. Lamas now tucks into third. They'll go 3 wide for 4th between LaPrade, Stephanie Gardner, and Henry Nova. Crossover move by James Silver Fox. Now he'll go for the lead. If I'm not mistaken, I think Silver Fox led the most laps last week. And he'd love to be able to do the same thing here this week. Pick up an extra bonus point for leading the most laps 2 weeks in a row. He'll move underneath of Chris Kyle and clear him. Dunn LaPrade now going to move into the 3rd position. Stephen Pollard the 3rd right there with Levi McIntyre. The two of them going to work together, and they're 4 wide back there with the 2-time winner Tristan Wilhoit. Ryan Acosta, Connor Breton, contact. Whoa! Breton going to have to really bail out of the throttle there in order to avoid any incident. And somehow they kept it going. But whoa, that just held up Carson Gum back there too. Carson Gum, Richard Johnson had to get on the brakes to avoid the killed momentum of the 80. Oh, contact. Oh, Nick Smith up into Connor Breton. Hard impact for both those drivers, and that's going to be a caution. No, it's not. What? There's no yellow? Are you serious? There's the yellow. How did it take them so long to decide to throw a yellow flag? That just made no sense to me whatsoever. Good heavens, they were already all disabled up on the high side of turns 3 and 4, and the pace car never put his lights on. Now the caution flag is out though, and the pace car is coming onto the track, and now this race is fitting very quickly into the scenario of Division 2. Will these leaders decide to come in this early on lap 3 of 25? It looks like they're going to. Now remember, Theo Stegall was the leader, he was the pole sitter when the first caution came out. He came down pit road under the first caution early in the race in Division 2. He cycled around to finish in the 3rd position. So the leaders are deciding they're going to try and utilize that same strategy the top 5 are in. Silver Fox, Kyle, LaPrade, McIntyre, and Gardner. Angel Navarro also in. Ryan Rezzo, I believe Jay Barker's hit the pit lane, and a number of others as well are coming to pit road. I believe the lead cycles over to the Volkswagen Jetta of Stephen Pollard III. So let's take a look and see what happened there. The initial contact that sent Nick Smith up into Connor Breton. Hard hits for both of those drivers. Now they all kind of got backed up back here because of Connor Breton's killed momentum earlier on in turns 1 and 2. But here's going to be the initial contact to actually start the incident between Nick Smith and Connor Breton. Looks like Jerry Guerra just gets up into Nick. Two of them were caught in the middle. Nick comes up, hooks the left front of the Planters Peanuts Toyota, and both of them hard into that outside safety barrier. But here's the thing. I want to jump back here if we can. There's the pace car. They're already wrecking. They're still wrecking. They're still wrecking. And when is it that the pace car decides, okay, I gotta put my lights on and put us under caution? Because this just so confused me. Was it that one of the cars slid down the racetrack? I don't know what it was. But still, no lights on whatsoever. No indication that we're under the caution flag. I'm almost curious to find out, was it that incident that put us under the yellow, or did we have something else happen? Because, you know, still, we are not under caution. This really confused me. I know it was near the rear of the field. I know. Okay, there's the caution. And the 80 had teleported to pit road. 29 had teleported to pit. It wasn't really until either driver had teleported to pit road that the lights came on the pace car, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I mean, if they were not going to throw the caution flag, they shouldn't have thrown it. But they really should have thrown the caution flag, and it should have been much earlier than that. But I don't know. James Silverfox, by the way, got off pit road first. Chris Kyle had a slow pit stop, but Stephen Pollard III has rolled the dice to gain track position. He is your current leader. Let's head back now for the restart after first caution of the day involving Nick Smith and Connor Breton. So we have had, for the first time this race today, in Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, our first retirees. We had everybody finish the race in Division 1. We had everyone finish the race in Division 2. But here in Division 3, our first two drivers out of the race, they are obviously the cars of Connor Breton and Nick Smith after the hard impact both of them took into that outside retaining wall. So, Stephen Pollard III lines up as the leader. Second place, Henry Nova. Third will be TJ Dent with Chris Dollarton in fourth. Fifth, now Jessica Shelton. Rohit Vidarvu runs 6th, 7th is Charles Belding, Blaine Keys in 8th, 9th place Derek Pemberton, and Deion Scott completes top 10. Sean Galligan runs 11th, 12th is Chris Maley, then you got Alex Hawkins 13th, 14th is now James Silverfox. He was the first of the drivers to come in and pit. Second off pit road, now restarting 15th is Ryan Rezzo, Stephanie Gardner 16th, Chris Kyle lost 2 spots on pit road, he'll restart 17th, 18th Angel Navarro, Tristan Wilhoit 19th, and Sean Henley completes the top 20. We ready to go back to green. Stephen Pollard III out in front. These drivers, I'm certain, going to have to come to pit road somewhere between laps 15 and 17 if the thing goes green up to that point. But you never know. Here we go. Green flag back out. Pollard got a good run. Henry Nova stuck with him. He didn't jump it. Neither did TJ Dent. And now Nova going to slingshot to the inside heading into turn number 1. Just for those of you that do not know, the reason a number of drivers will jump up to the high line the way they do on the restarts of this race is because you are allowed to time your jump and go around somebody before the start-finish line on the high side. You cannot, however, advance your position on the inside line until after you have crossed the start-finish line, or you do get penalized, which is why you saw Henry Nova not dive to the inside on Stephen Pollard III until they got to turn 1. But Chris Dollarton jumped to the high side before they got to the start-finish line trying to get around TJ Dent for third place. That's the whole issue right there, is you can pass on the high side on the initial restart, but you cannot pass low, as Jessica Shelton is going to pass low. She's going to go to the lead, passing rookies TJ Dent and Henry Nova. She's got Stephen Pollard III right behind him, and things are a little congested back there with Chris Dollarton, Rohit Vidarvu and company, but they settle it out and we're still green. Whoa! Jessica Shelton got loose off that corner. A little arrow loose, courtesy of TJ Dent. She hangs on to it, though. And Pollard now goes to the lead. And here comes James Silverfox up that inside line. He was the first of the leaders to come to pit road under that caution. Gave up the lead. Now he's up there already to the 8th position. Right behind Sean Galligan. Whoa! Contact between Blaine Keys and TJ Dent. These drivers having a little bit of trouble with loose conditions right now. Something we really didn't see in either Division 1 or 2. Division 1 was a little bit more overcast, but the sun has come out. And these drivers here in Division 3 fighting a little bit more slicker track conditions, it appears. Right now, top 3 have all broken away. Maybe top 4 is Silverfox will tuck in front of TJ Dent. Sean Galligan going to try and run down Stephen Pollard III. The Volkswagen Jetta being reeled in by the BMW M3 behind them, the Ford Fusion of Silverfox, and then the Audi RS4 of TJ Dent. Battle on for the lead. Galligan has gotten to the inside of Stephen Pollard III. One thing I'm noticing too in this race as opposed to Division 1, the inside line's got a little bit more grip or something. You're able to make more of a move on the inside line for the lead. We ended up seeing in Division 1 especially drivers trying to make a move for the lead, but they'd kind of get tight on that inside line. That's not been the case here in this race as Galligan now goes to the point, looking for his first win of the season. Was a two-time winner last season. Now 3 wide for the second position. Silver Fox in the middle. He's going to clear TJ Dent on the inside line. Now he crosses over, goes for the lead off of Sean Galligan. And wait a minute, are we under caution? We are under the yellow flag. Second time today we are under the caution flag. Did not see the incident. And Galligan's going to be the leader under this yellow. Whoa, slicing and dicing his way through here. And now this is going to be a big break, I think, for most of the drivers that did not come to pit road under the first caution. And it's also going to be a big break for the drivers who did come to pit road under that first caution. I believe this will now cycle Silver Fox over to the lead unless Galligan decides not to come to pit road, but he is going to come in. Silver Fox, I'm pretty certain, will stay out. And now here's an interesting question. Galligan coming in here on lap 11, coming on to lap 12. He and those other drivers that are going to come in this time may have enough fuel to get to the end, so maybe Silver Fox might not want to stay out. He might want to come in. And he's going to. Okay, so, yep, there you go. I think everybody might come in pit road this time, regardless of whether they pitted under the first caution or not, because they might be able to make it the entire rest of the race on fuel. Not certain who the caution was for. Richard Johnson right now at the rear of the field. Looks like maybe a little damage on his machine, but I don't rightly know who the caution was for, so we're going to find out now as we head back and look at a replay during the cycle of these pit stops here under our second caution of the day in Division 3. This battle was actually pretty close to the front of the field. It was just inside or just outside of the top 10. And there you see they're 4 wide. Cody Lamas, Ryan Acosta, Chris Dollerton, and Charles Belding. Dollerton and Belding get together. They slide up the racetrack. Belding's going to get the wall. Dollerton's going to get clipped. He's going to go up and get the wall. Both of them, though, were able to save it. Dollerton spent more time in the wall than Belding did, so Belding tried to get to the inside after he'd gotten off the safer barrier, but then he hooks him, Dollerton that is, in the left rear, and they go down and hit Richard Johnson. Johnson then comes back up the track and into Chris Dollerton, and there you see the hard hit for the 33. Richard Johnson spinning, and that was what put us under the caution. NNSCRA got it right this time. They threw the caution when they needed to. They didn't wait about 30 seconds before finally deciding, oh, wait, we do have trouble. Let's throw a yellow. But that's a tough break there for Chris Dollerton. Smoke pluming from the Whataburger Chick-fil-A Chevrolet. His day over. Richard Johnson damaged. And that's our yellow for the second time here in the Division 3 race. Well, a couple of drivers decided not to come to pit road under that yellow flag. I kind of highly question their strategy too, but they decided they're going to risk it here. Ryan Rezzo is going to be the leader, looking for his second win of the season. He was the first Mercedes to go to victory lane here in Season 9. Behind him, Rohit Vedaravu lines up second, and Jessica Shelton lines up in third. Those 3 drivers did not come to pit lane under this caution flag. Now, I don't know if they're planning this thing to go green to the rest of the race, but they apparently are planning on the fact that Silver Fox, Galligan on back are not going to be able to make it the rest of the way if we go green to the end on 1 tank of fuel. However, I think they may be able to save a little bit of fuel here under this yellow and then maybe have enough to get to the end. But we'll see. A little bit of a risk-reward here for the 911-68-94. Silver Fox beat Sean Galligan off of pit road. He is going to be in 4th. Galligan restarts in 5th. Chris Kyle 6th. There's last week's winner, Derek Pemberton, our winner from Richmond. What a great run he's having right now in the 7th position. He actually moved up to 39th in points, by the way, too, with his win last week, so trying to continue to build on that. Stephen Pollard III is 8th. Chris Maley in 9th, and there's Zach Buchanan. We haven't talked about the 65 since the start of this race. As we mentioned, he moved into the top 10 in points with a great run last week at Richmond, and he's looking to build on that. McIntyre lines up in 11th. 12th place, Alex Pedro. 13th is TJ Dent with Alex Hawkins. 14th, 15th, Blaine Keys. Cody Lama, 16th, 17th, Angel Navarro. 18th is Dion Scott. 19th Jerry Guerra, and James Qualls is going to complete the top 20. We'll move back up here to the front. Oh man, we're having strategy playing itself out here in Division 3 as well. We saw what happened in Division 2, a crazy finish at the end due to several drivers on different strategies and untimely cautions. The cautions have been a little bit more timely in this race, allowing drivers to pretty much formulate a game plan, but we could have one that could completely mess up some drivers here because there's still a bit of racing left to go. It'll be 11 laps remaining when they hit the stripe and get back green here on lap 15. Out of the race, the car of Chris Dollerton. So he joins Nick Smith and Connor Breton behind the wall. Those are the only 3 retirees we've had all day long in all 3 divisions. Been some great hard racing here today at Auto Club. Richard Johnson may be damaged off the pace, as we saw he got a piece of that, and possibly the same for the 85 of Charles Belding, but we'll see as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Ryan Rezzo, Rohit Vidarvu, Jessica Shelton hope they have enough Sunoco fuel to get them to one more round of green flag pit stops. Green flag back out here at Auto Club. And I can't help but have flashbacks to Division 2 when Jonathan Zorling tried to stretch his fuel and ran out of fuel in front of the entire field. How they didn't wreck, I don't know, but I hate to see something like that happen here in Division 3. Ryan Rezzo very quickly made short work of. Veydarov, who moves to the point, but for how long? Jessica Shelton now going to try and go to the inside, as now she's battling actually with Silver Fox for second, and now they're coming to pit. So the 3 that decide to stay out are coming to pit. Zach Buchanan is also in. Did he stay out perhaps? So these drivers, now they're in. Now what they're hoping is that there's going to be a shortage for these leaders, that they're going to have to come in and pit before this race is over, but I don't see that happening. There's 10 to go. The fuel window is between 13 to 15 laps. So I don't see it happening for these drivers that decide to utilize strategy. And Jessica Shelton, Ryan Rezzo, Zach Buchanan, and Rohit Vidarvu, they may pay a price here for that strategy. Chris Kyle is the leader right now. Silver Fox just lost that spot. He's now fallen back to second. Third place is now Galligan. Battles on for fourth, and there's a lot of drivers that want that spot. Alex Pedro working underneath of McIntyre. You got Pemberton, TJ Dent, Cody Lamas. Blaine Keys in that mix. Angel Navarro, Deion Scott, Sean Henley right there as well in the 57. There he is. Henley 26th in points coming into this race. He's been having a pretty good season too, and his teammate went to victory lane in Division 2. Danny Wells for the 3rd time this season. Could Henley work his way up here and maybe put Tweenish Racing in victory lane for what now would be, I believe, the 6th time? Yeah, Danny Wells 3 wins, Henley a win, and James McLeod a win. That's 5. Henley could maybe make it a 6th. Working underneath Blaine Keys and Angel Navarro. Derek Pemberton's been able to clear this battle. He's now in 4th. Galligan in 3rd, trying to reel in the forwards of Chris Kyle and James Silverfox. Kyle went to victory lane earlier on this season at Talladega Super Speedway. Silverfox and Galligan, they haven't been to victory lane yet. And are you kidding me? They're coming to pit road. They're short on fuel. So maybe that whole strategy on the part of Rezzo, Shelton, Buchanan, it may work out to their benefit. Now Galligan has the lead. Can he make it on fuel? Kyle and Silverfox had to come in. I honestly do not rightly understand it, though. Although it would kind of fit into the fuel win. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand it. But Galligan is the leader now. And I think now he's coming to pit lane. No, he's not. Okay, I thought I saw an indication of him coming to pit road, but I guess not. Looking back here, seeing if anybody else had to come to pit road under this lap. Oh, Ryan Acosta got damaged. Don't know where that came from. There's Shelton. Oh, careful, careful, careful! Whoa! Right in front of the leaders, Silverfox and Chris Kyle getting into it off of pit road. Now they're hoping definitely these other drivers are going to have to pit too. There's Rezzo, Buchanan, and Veydarvu. a long ways back, and the new leader is Derek Pemberton, looking for his second straight victory. Lamas now moves into second. Galligan now under fire for third from TJ Dent. But still the question, can these leaders make it the rest of the way on fuel? If not, oh boy. And we almost had a Nathan Orm and Clint Spillman incident off of pit road between Silver Fox and Chris Kyle. Silver Fox was shoving Chris Kyle on the access road, and that was right when the leaders were going by them. But now Pemberton to the point. TJ Dent rather, in second. Cody Lamas trying to take that spot. Not going to be able to do it this time. Pedro in fourth, and now Sean Henley moves by Sean Galligan. Move him to the fifth position. Here comes Alex Pedro looking for second, or third rather, under Cody Lamas. TJ Dent looking low on Pemberton, and he is there. Ooh, almost slid up into Pemberton. Side by side for the lead. This race is not over yet. Next time by, 3 laps to go. TJ to the inside of Derek. And he's trying to clear him, but Pemberton's hanging tough. And now it's going to be TJ Dent to the point. Now here comes Alex Pedro with a big run out of 4. He'll try and look for second under Pemberton. Henley now up to 4th. Battle on for 5th between Sean Galligan and Cody Lamas, with Dion Scott now in that mix. Joshua Collard now there as well. Look at the Brits up here. Hudson right behind him as well. Pedro going to take second place away from Pemberton. Henley now looking for third as TJ Dent leads the way in the 7-Eleven with a little less than 2 laps, or a little more than 2 laps to go, I should say. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought they were looking like they were going to come to pit road, but they're not. Dent leads. Pemberton trying to catch Pedro for the second position. 2 to go. Can TJ Dent pick up Audi's second win of the season and the second win for Ty Dent Motorsports? His brother Ty Dent went to victory lane earlier on the season. I think it was at Texas. TJ going to try and see if he can go to victory lane for the first time and put both the brothers in victory lane here in season number 9, but he's got a hornet's nest coming up behind him that may be able to run him down. Derek Pemberton second, third Dion Scott. Hudson now moves into the 4th position with Jerry Guerra in 5th. White flag displayed. Can Pemberton and Scott run down TJ Dent? They're running nose to tail, or the 181 and the 37. They're trying to catch him. Dion, if he's going to make a move, it may kill their momentum. Here we go. Pemberton still has Dion with him. Dion not making a move. They are going to try and close in on TJ Dent here, coming out of 4. TJ's got to do a lot of mirror driving as he looks back. Dion Scott and Pemberton, though, not able to close the distance. TJ Dent is going to put Audi in victory lane for the second time this season, and for the first time in his career, TJ Dent has picked up a Snickers Cup Series win, winning here at Auto Club. His brother Ty Dent lost the points lead after Chris Louviere finished high enough to take it away from him here today at Auto Club, but a little bit of a bittersweet redemption for TJ Dent. He wins his first career Snickers Cup Series event here today at Auto Club Speedway. What a great run for that driver. And the race standings should be official, and they are indeed. Derek Pemberton, 1 week after his win at Richmond, a great run for him in the second position. Dion Scott in third, Guerra fourth, and look who finished in 5th. You remember back when Chris Dollerton, Richard Johnson, and Charles Belding all wrecked? Belding battled back for 5th. Man, what a comeback for that Dodge team. Cody Lamas going to get 6th. This will help rebound Cody after a tough break last week at Richmond. Sean Henley, great run for him in 7th. Came in 26th in points. This could move him into the top 20. Ryan Shelton, a great run for him in the 8th position. Never talked about him all day. And then the British drivers, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Hudson, Collard, and Galligan. James Qualls, nice run for him. Never talked about him. He got 12th today. Qualls could be up inside the top 10 in points after today's race. And you look further down here, take a look at the drivers that really had some problems with the final few laps there. Vedarvu, Rezo, Buchanan, Shelton all tried to utilize strategy. It didn't work. James Silverfox, Chris Kyle were running first and second at a moment, and then they had to pit. They all finished a lap down, 34th on down through 39th, and then drivers out of the race included Chris Dollerton, Connor Breton, and Nick Smith. All three of those drivers took really hard licks. Breton and Smith and Dollerton all into the turn 3, turn 4, all outside safer barriers. But you see a couple of drivers actually came running well in points, didn't leave with such good finishes either. You have Trent Dunham, 22nd here today, who came into this race 24th in points. Dylan Casella came in 16th in points, and he ended up finishing in the 26th position. And of course, we documented Zach Buchanan finishing a lap down in 37th. He may fall out of the top 10 in points now after 1 week of moving into the top 10 in the standings. But man, what unbelievable races we had here today. Absolutely unbelievable racing here today at Auto Club Speedway. Hope you guys enjoyed this race or these races. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Noah Hart wins the Division 1 race, his first win since Season 7. Winner of Division 2 race, now 3-time winner Danny Wells. And for the first time in his career, TJ Dent goes to victory lane here in Division 3. Be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description. You're seeing your official finisher results here from Division 3. To see the results from Division 1 and 2, look earlier on in this video. We had an unbelievable weekend here at Auto Club Speedway, and this is the end of the first half of the regular season. Now, next races that come to you guys, non-points events from FTF Super Speedway All-Star Race Weekend, where you'll see Noah Hart, TJ Dent, and Danny Wells taking part, as well as other drivers that won this season and during the second half of the regular season last season. So, hope you'll be tuning in for what's going to be an unbelievable race weekend for All-Star Race Weekend with a slightly different format here in Season 9. So be sure to tune in for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the races. I certainly enjoyed bringing them to you. We'll see you guys next time, as here comes your official point standings heading into the second half of the regular season. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.